Have you ever woken up to the sound of your entire life being literally cemented shut by the people who swore they were just protecting the neighborhood? What if the smiling HOA president you waved at every morning decided your family's 100-year orchard was the only thing standing between her and another $1 million view, and she built a concrete fortress to prove it? And how long would you stay silent while a Karen in tennis whites turned your driveway into a death trap for your dialysis-bound grandma before the whole scam blew up in federal court? Picture this. It's a perfect blue sky Tuesday in suburban Oak Ridge Estates, the kind of place where every lawn is mowed to military precision and every mailbox matches the HOA color chart. Ryan Caldwell, 52, third-generation orchard keeper, steps outside in his boxers and faded Caldwell Grove apples tea with his coffee mug still steaming. He's expecting birdsong and the distant hum of his old John Deere. Instead he sees it. 10-foot gray concrete K-rails slammed across his only driveway like some dystopian checkpoint. No warning. No note. Just a chain-link gate welded shut, and a shiny new emergency road repair. No trespassing sign that smells like fresh lies and fresh cement. Behind him his wife Lisa is already on the phone trying to reach 911 while their 15-year-old son Tyler paces the porch in his soccer uniform yelling, "Coach is gonna bench me for life." Grandma Evelyn, 78 and already late for dialysis, sits frozen in her wheelchair, oxygen tube in her nose, whispering, "They can't do this, can they?" The air is thick with that chemical dust that sticks in your throat like regret. Ryan doesn't scream. He doesn't call the news yet. He just stands there, coffee going cold, and thinks, this is how they finally try to erase us. Because Ryan knows exactly who ordered the trucks. Cindy Hargrove, retired pharma exec, HOA president for life, and the human embodiment of passive-aggressive evil wrapped in pastel cardigans. Cindy smiles like she's handing out homemade cookies at block parties, but her eyes calculate property values the way a shark smells blood. 2 years ago the fancy developer dropped 47 McMansions around Ryan's 15 acres of heirloom apple trees. Overnight the neighbors stopped seeing an honest family farm and started seeing a blight that tanked their resale dreams. Cindy made it her personal mission to fix that blight. She started polite. "Ryan dear, the orchard odors are affecting community wellness." Then the letters. Photos of his tractor ruts measured with a goddamn ruler. Complaints about sunrise noise because God forbid real work happens before their 10 a.m. Yoga. Ryan stayed quiet at first. He smiled, nodded, fixed what he could. But every night he hit record on his phone. Every meeting. Every friendly visit. He had 2 years of Cindy's voice admitting things she'd never want in a courtroom. And now the concrete wall. Cindy's emergency board meeting the night before Caldwell's not invited, had voted to protect infrastructure. Translation. Starve the holdout until he sells his $3.2 million land for pennies, so they can extend their golf course view. Grandma missed dialysis that day. Tyler missed the game. Lisa cried in the kitchen while Ryan sat on the porch steps staring at the wall, like it was a middle finger from hell. But here's the first laugh through the rage moment. Cindy actually showed up that afternoon in her spotless white tennis skirt, pearls gleaming, holding a 14-page violation notice like it was a Nobel Prize. She smiled that Botox-tight smile and said, "Ryan, this isn't personal. The community simply can't have commercial traffic damaging our private road. We're giving you 21 days to remedy, or we'll have to enforce permanent loss of access. For everyone's safety, of course." Ryan just looked at her and answered soft, "Cindy, those tire marks you photographed? They're from the same trucks that dropped these lovely concrete gifts at 3 a.m. last night." Funny how that works. Her smile twitched, just a flicker, but she recovered with, "Details, dear. The board will review." That night Ryan drove the long way around through 3 counties to get Grandma to the hospital. While Lisa kept the orchard running and Tyler did extra chores, Ryan disappeared into the county records basement. Dust, flickering fluorescence, and one ancient 1952 deed that spelled it out in black and white. Perpetual vehicle access for the Caldwell family farm, maintenance costs split by actual use. Not by Cindy's made-up community standard. And the real kicker? The HOA had been double-dipping, billing trucking companies for road use, then billing residents again, pocketing the difference. $45,000 of pure fraud funneled into a consulting fee that somehow always landed in Cindy's personal LLC. Ryan didn't storm the next board meeting. He stayed silent, kept recording, and called Martha Klein, the saltiest lawyer in 3 states who chain-smoked and hated HOAs like they owed her money. Martha filed the quiet title action and demanded an audit of that suspiciously bloated $180,000 road budget. The money trail exploded like a piñata full of dirty cash. That's when Cindy went full cartoon villain. She launched the smear campaign with flyers that made Ryan's organic compost look like Chernobyl runoff. Toxic fertilizer alert! In screaming red letters. She installed blinding LED floodlights aimed straight at the Caldwell porch so bedtime felt like Guantanamo. Ryan's farm stand customers started getting anonymous calls about unsafe produce. And then the tires slashed in the school parking lot while Tyler was at practice. Security footage caught a white Tesla creeping by. Everyone knew whose Tesla. But Ryan had been waiting. His trail cameras in the woods caught everything. Including the night Cindy and her developer buddy Greg stood under those floodlights whispering about buying him out at 40 cents on the dollar and flipping the land for a quick 8-figure kill. Clear audio. Crystal conspiracy. The dead trees were the gut punch that went viral. Someone, never proven but we all know, sprayed industrial herbicide along the property line one August night. Rows of Grandpa Elias's heritage apple trees, planted by hand in 1923, turned brown and died overnight. Ryan stood at dawn touching the withered branches while Tyler cried and Grandma went completely silent for the first time in her life. Photos of those dead trees hit local news, then national. Suddenly the town that had ignored them for years started asking questions. Cindy doubled down on a town Facebook page. Tragic, but perhaps poor maintenance. We must protect property values. The comments roasted her alive. Ryan's ace was already in the cloud. Every threat, every bribe attempt, every it's just business slip-up. When Cindy unleashed county inspectors like a swarm of angry bees, Martha countered with selective enforcement complaints and FOIA requests for every email between the HOA board and county officials. Those emails were pure comedy gold mixed with felony. Make Caldwell so miserable he'll take any offer. Signed by Cindy herself. Then Mrs. Higgins, the sweet retired teacher everyone loved, hid her phone under a pillow at a book club and recorded Cindy plotting the final phase. Fake a drought, cut the water main, finish him off. Audio so clear you could hear the ice clinking in her Chardonnay. That tape went straight to the FBI, who had already been sniffing around the $400,000 in wire transfers from the developer to Cindy's consulting firm. The final straw was the midnight dump trucks. Ryan's cameras caught them dumping construction debris and chemical waste straight onto his organic fields. Cindy tried to pin it on him the next day. See? He's polluting his own land. But the footage showed her directing traffic in the dark wearing her signature tennis whites and a headlamp like a budget Bond villain. The town hall meeting was standing room only. TV crews, angry neighbors, federal agents in the back. Cindy walked in still wearing the tennis outfit plus a fresh ankle monitor. Botox frozen in permanent regret. Ryan took the podium calm as ever. 2 years ago we thought we were fighting one bully. Turns out it was organized crime wearing yoga pants. He played the recordings. Martha dropped the charts. Mrs. Higgins's tape played on loop. The developer Greg was already in cuffs outside. The FBI agent stepped up and announced the largest rural property rights bust in state history. 37 defendants, 200 families finally free, decades of prison time coming. The crowd lost their minds. The Caldwell's land received permanent federal protection. No McMansion would ever touch those trees again. Grandma Evelyn wheeled herself to the mic, oxygen tank hissing, and said in her quiet steel voice, "In America you shouldn't need the FBI to keep your neighbors from killing your grandma." Dead silence. Then thunderous applause. Cindy got 32 years. Greg got life. The developer's assets were liquidated to repay every victim. 3 months later the concrete barriers came down with a crane and a very loud cheer. The birds returned. Tyler got a full scholarship to study environmental law. Lisa started a non-profit helping other family farms against HOA sharks. Ryan finally slept through the night. But here's the thing that still keeps me up. Why does a regular guy have to turn his life into a war zone, document every breath, and watch his grandma suffer just to get the justice that should have been automatic? Hoa Karens don't happen by accident, we let them. The lesson? Stay silent long enough to gather the receipts, then burn the whole corrupt system down with a smile. Document everything. Fight smart. And never, ever let a tennis skirt tyrant rewrite your family's story. What would you have done if your Hoa Karen woke up and decided your driveway was her personal Berlin Wall? Drop your own nightmare stories below. I'm reading every single one. Let's keep exposing these clowns together.